It is. I just warned Corey, please don't make a ton of noise.
How rude.
Don't make a ton of noise.
Right before she pressed the on button, she said, don't make a ton of noise.
I actually pressed the on button during Oys. That's why I had to tell him what I said. Welcome to the podcast. This is a podcast derived from a Facebook group called Sugar Cookie Marketing, parentheses group. If you haven't joined, please do.
I've been letting people in right and left.
Do. So you've opened the gates yet again?
Yeah, but I still get that pop-up where it says stop using so much data.
Oh,
so
really?
I have to let everyone in twice. So if you're in, you're in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because it will let me
them in twice.
It lets me let them in, and then it will say, you've used too much data, and it will undo the past 5 things that I've done when it comes to letting people in.
Interesting.
So then all the names I just let in will pop up yet
I'm
again.
going to tell on you. Let's see how many people are pending.
Oh, there's a ton pending.
Pending is 6,252. Join our group. You'll get
If
in
you
eventually.
answer the questions, you jump to the front. And if you put podcast is where you heard us, it's the fast pass at Disney.
I'm going to read what people said they wanted to learn most about marketing in the most recent request to join.
Okay.
How to get traction. How to. Not sure yet. Facebook. I'm a new baker and I want to learn everything I can about getting eyeballs to my cookie page. I'm interested in creating UGC content and hoping to get tips and tricks on how to better
Let
market
that
myself.
person in. That's a good
Right
old
here,
sentence.
Jennifer Boop. That is a kind of
Her last
answer.
name is Boop.
No, I booped her in. How to make self-leveling cookie frosting.
Yeah,
I think we
see, a
covered
lot
that
of people are
there.
coming from the reels where I talked about
that'd be your
icing.
fault. Do you have self-leveling cookie frosting?
No, I think what they were referring to was the
relaxing?
sweetest tears stencil holder.
Oh, that Sweetest Tears thing has your
Honestly,
TikTok on lock.
I want Sweetest Tears to sponsor us because I'm just making
Sweetest Tears. If you can hear this podcast, which you're probably not listening to, please reach out as a sponsor because people constantly ask. Okay, a ton of the people who are pending have not answered the question.
There you go.
I'll say.
If you haven't, though, request to join. If you put podcast is where you heard us, I will let you in without even reading what other things you wrote.
A lot of these pending folks have questions about baking, and
Because
that is
they did
confusing.
come from the reels section.
So that would tell you guys that our audience targeting is off. However,
Listen,
look at this.
it's on.
It's the top, the highest of funnel.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, back to what the podcast is. I talk about the Facebook group, but apparently nobody can get in.
You can talk about it.
The podcast is kind of what Corey likes to call marketing nuggets and know-hows, kind of something we can dissect each week that, if implemented, will likely grow your business.
And what we try to base each week on is something that we see in the group that maybe is a hot topic. Today we're talking about cookie
hot topic.
collabs.
It's me. We're talking about me. But we are talking about the upcoming Cookie Collab. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just stay tuned. We're going to break it all down.
Break it all down.
But kind of because it helps us in marketing. So we have some tips and tricks to kind of navigate these collabs. They're a lot of fun.
They're a blast.
Would you call them a lot of fun?
A lot of fun.
I think
I love to
overusing
see
the word.
what other people do.
Right. They're a lot of nosy.
But when it was get to know the baker and you posted a
was a
photo,
very
I
good one.
loved that one, and I love to see people ice their logos. I thought that was very entertaining.
Oh, that was nice. What should we do after this? We can't do
Someone-
Christmas in July.
This is what
out.
Fresia Malone had messaged me, and she said you should make the months. You know how I do the cookies in a month. She said you should make that an ongoing collab, like
Oh my goodness,
cookies a
so hard,
month.
man.
I said, wow, that would be 12
You
months.
also
in the
complained
collab.
for the last 4 months
Listen,
of the
because
year.
I only remember a lot. There, a lot.
Corey likes to take the letter cutters and turn them into the months. So it's all fun and games in May, the 3-letter months, but it's all tears and gnashing of teeth when it's September, November, October, and December.
Yes. So
Then
right
you-
now I'm living high in the hog.
Yeah, then here comes penance. August is the beginning of the end.
I think when we get to August is the first. Now I have done it for one full year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the year before I took off 6
You're going to reuse them?
Yeah, I don't know.
I see August.
They
vibes.
caused me grief, but I do like doing them. I like.
What
them
would be
when they're done.
another collab idea that's not so heartbreaking with
Wait, someone else had a collab idea, and it was in the DMs, and why do I not remember what it was? I talked to you about it.
Corey, I have a known memory issue.
do
There's
have
no
a
way.
known
There's no
memory.
file for that.
Let me think about it this week, and then it was a good one, whatever it was.
It'd have to be-
Wait, my favorite things. So to get to know you as a baker, you do
That's kind
a
of
My
a
Favorite
marriage
Things
of all the
set.
things. Let's do that.
Yeah,
would
that's
we
a
do
good
it in
one.
September or would we do it in August?
No, September.
Right. We want to do it before the holidays hit, but not.
Yeah,
too
so
close to
as a baker,
summer.
you do your favorite things as a baker. So I could do like a bulldog cookie.
Oh, let me think of things you could do. You could do a bulldog. Even though I think you like the cat more than the dog.
Cookie. I love sleep.
Exclusively sleeping. Olive Garden breadsticks.
Olive Garden cookie.
That'd be hilarious. What else are you known for?
I'm not known for much.
You like your little car, the Acura A. That'd be hilarious.
Acura cookie. That would be a little bit like, look what I'm doing.
You look at where I'm
Do you need a delivery? Look at this fancy Acura.
Look at what I'm eating. You could do anything about Lake Ridge. You kind of
Oh, yeah, I do love me some Lake Ridge.
Could you do the Lake Ridge sign? Could you do that sign?
Could you turn that into a cutter?
Yeah.
It's very like a lot of 3D-ish. Like the Lake Ridge is popping out. You've seen it. When
Yeah,
you
I know.
hands. It's hard.
Really,
to
that's more of
think.
an icing problem, not a cutter problem.
I know. I was thinking you could scrape the back blue and then
Cute.
do white around it.
That'd be nice.
I don't know.
We'd have
It's
to
still
actually
very
go take a
detailed.
picture of the sign.
I know. I tried to find a graphic for you. It's zero
No,
graphic.
we have to go. And they have to have it on a day they trim the leaves back.
They just painted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, those would be good ones. Because one, it would establish where you live in Lake Ridge.
Yes.
What you do and what you don't
Yes. I could actually highlight the places I go to in Lake Ridge, like Dillingham Square. Everyone knows what that
like. How are you
is.
going to feature Dillingham Square?
Chili on Top, a chili.
Do you still go to Chili on Top?
Mom and Sam just went to Chili on Top, and they said
In
it was
Lake
the
Ridge?
best. Remember when they had to come and pick up their cookie order?
They went to Chili on Top?
Yeah, because they sent me a snap, and they're like, "We're here."
I took you to
but I
Chili on
forgot.
Top
and you said
first.
you hated it. They loved it.
I didn't say I hated it. I said it was like a more expensive Chipotle.
I've gone many a time since.
Why did we go that first time?
Because I needed to take a video for my
That
group.
was why.
Yes.
Why was I in Gam's car?
I have no idea.
I was in Mom's car.
I have no idea.
She let me borrow it.
For what?
Something must have been having work done on it.
Oh.
Oh, you know when the Acura had the $3,000, they'd like change the suspension out.
Oh.
I think that was
Yeah.
that time. Anyways,
Okay, so what is a collab now that we've talked at length about them?
great. Now you guys get to hear what it is. So when we talk about Cookie Collabs, we did not invent these. They've been around for a while. Ever since I'd have to say they were born on Instagram because that's how the whole thing works.
That's where you find most of them.
Right. So a cookie collab is a group of cookiers, can be a small group of like 5 or can be 500. Get together and create a cookie set based on a topic. A lot of times you're going to see like what we do is a little bit more broad, but some of these folks do really hyper specific
Some of
topics.
them are themes like someone did like paint your life and it was like all these realistic looking paintbrushes that were cookies.
Right. So whatever the theme is, this group will get together, however they find each other, whether they, are a little Instagram group or kind of us with a Facebook group. And then on a specific day at a specific time, all the members of the group will upload their creation, their cookie collab creation, and they'll use a designated hashtag so that the other collab members can go and engage with that. So really, it's just kind of a fun excuse to do something that's outside of orders, which a lot of you guys really like for creativity purposes.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to order Olive Garden breadsticks.
million unicorns, you can finally do that one thing that you've been dying to do.
And from a marketing perspective, which is what we kind of come at our collabs with, it kind of allows you to open doors that maybe otherwise wouldn't have been ever asked to be open in the first place.
Yeah.
So with the collab, basically simple as that. You get together with people, you agree on a hashtag, you agree on a date and time and theme, create a set.
You can make your own collab. You can just start it and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a cat collab. And about a month from now, does anyone want to do a cat collab? DM me. And then you create your little group and then you guys decide on a hashtag and then you post it. A lot of people are always coming up with them. Some people only allow a few certain people in there. I don't know why. And some people open it up to everybody. We're an everybody type thing. So even if you're a caker, a baker, a maker, a faker,
you can join. But, when they kind of open more broad, even though we're Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, we still have people. We did a collab once. I know a lady made it into a pie. Which
that was
hilarious.
neat.
These ones are a little bit more open, but I feel like when they're more open, there's more chance to get engagement, which is the marketing focus that
we like trying to have a little bit of a business edge to ours. So that's why we did the Meet the Baker collab, so you could connect with your audience a little bit more.
We did Main Street Cookie collab.
Yeah, so you could connect with your audience a little bit more.
What else did we
did
do?
a Susan
We
Reed
did Christmas
that was more of
in July
informational.
collab.
Yeah, so you
Wait,
could
which one did you
actually
say?
Susan Reed.
Susan Reed is hilarious.
That was more of like a knowledge based.
We were taking on a scam artist doing what they do best.
Yes. We did the Christmas in July, and that was so you could pre-bake what you were going to sell in December back in July, so you're going to be ahead of the game and ahead of your competition.
We did first cookie ever, first cookie we made,
a
and
glow
that was
up.
a glow up.
Yeah, that was
collab.
a good. I really did like
was a
that
good
one.
We should do that one again.
That would be a good one to do.
I just told everyone that Cookie College to delete their old photos because they're never going to use them. And somebody said, "What about those class?" I don't know.
True. And
then we did Cookie Your Logo, which was a great show of skill.
One too. Yeah.
But people love to see logo in different forms, and seeing it made into cookies pretty neat. I think that's
thank God our logo's so easy. That was just three white carrots,
3 greater than signs, greater than the alligator. Poop. Okay, so is that all the ones we've done? I think so.
Is that it?
I can pull it up on the calendar that I love.
But how are you going to find it? Are you going to say collab?
Yeah, I've named them all collabs, so you can pull them up.
So crazy.
We did logo collab, then and now collab. That was in July 31st of 2021. We're almost 2 years removed. Our first collab was June 30th, 2021. So we're almost 2 years removed from the first collab.
What was that? That was the first one?
That was a logo collab.
Oh, wow.
We did the then and now collab in July 2021. Then October 21. Wow, we were out the gate with these collabs.
Yeah, we
did the Main Street Cookie collab. December 2021, we did the Meaning of Christmas collab.
Oh, wait, is that where we, you gave this, right? You gave the cookies?
Yeah, to person,
someone. Yeah, that was a good one too.
Then we did May 2022, took a giant break from collab and did the Susan Reed collab. Then in July 2022, we did Christmas in July cookie collab.
We're getting really close to this.
We took a big old jump to March 2023. We took a year off of collab. It was a wild year.
Are you kidding me? We took a year off?
Yeah, we did.
Well,
we did the Meet the Baker.
What we have learned, though, is that you ain't trying to do collabs in December.
Guys, the key of marketing is consistency. Follow us for more consistent ideas. But anyways, the Sugar My State or Country collab is June 23rd, which is a Friday. We found that Fridays work best.
People are checking out of work.
Corey and I are checking out too. So it is on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll talk about why that information is important. But we talked about what is collab, how do they work, right? Mm-hmm. Is there anything that I'm missing that would kind of just sell people on why they should do it?
Well, it's a few points down, but the
marketing benefits is the next point. Great segue. The increased engagement. So we're going to talk about algorithms, and this is called engagement baiting, which is not allowed. However, it works, and until it stops working, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily
what you think engagement.
It's such a nasty word.
That's what it is.
No, just saying
manufactured engagement
harnessing
that you didn't earn.
Harnessing.
So consider this when we talk about the algorithm. When you produce content that your audience likes, they engage with it. Mm-hmm. When Facebook says, oh, look, people are liking this. They're liking it so much, they're doing something with it. We're going to show it to more people and see if more people like it. Mm-hmm. Why does Facebook do this? Because if Facebook produces content that people like, people stay on Facebook. And when they stay on Facebook, they see more ads.
Same for Instagram, owned by the same person.
Right. So when we get this content going and we all engage with each other, because that's the rules of the collab, we've essentially signaled to Facebook that people are liking this content. Yeah. And then Facebook turns around and says, well, if people like it, I'm going to show it to more of this person's individual audience.
Yes.
Which means even though people in the collab will never buy from you, it does help people who can buy from you see that. And a lot of times you'll see people like saying, I've never gotten the engagement that I have gotten on a collab.
Yeah, it's a great way to, especially if you're just starting out and you're like, man, I'm posting and I'm the only one liking my stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to get more engagement
If I was just starting out and there was an option to join a collab immediately.
Yeah,
immediately.
For sure.
I would have the account set up probably a month before the collab. You wanted to warm up a bit.
So we don't season. Because sometimes if too many things happen to a brand new account, it will stop everything.
As if you're running a script, and that is what this would feel like to a new account. So we want the account, like Corey said, to season a bit. Mm-hmm. So maybe a month of normal use before a collab date would be ideal. But that engagement, so when I say the word engagement, the rules of the collab is not just creating the content, but turning around and engaging with other creators. And that's through likes and comments.
And the way that you actually find who else is participating is through that group hashtag that we use for the collab. So ours is always Sugar Cookie Marketing Collab.
We really, really flexed our creative muscles
just
coming up with
easier, though.
We sat down and said, how long can we spend on this? 2 minutes? Okay. I can only give you 60 seconds. Yeah. So what happens is that day, We'll talk about the caption in a minute, but the hashtag is imperative. If you don't use it, you've essentially not
We
participated.
can't find you.
You are a ghost.
Yeah, most of the people that are participating in the collab don't already follow you. So we need that one signal to bring you into our feeds, and that's using that hashtag.
Right, because essentially we're not encouraging anybody in the collab to follow anybody. This isn't a follow train. It's an engagement bait. It's an engagement train of sorts, but the way that we can engage without having to follow is through that hashtag. So the hashtag Sugar Cookie Marketing Collab, it's just the biggest rule. I can't describe enough how much you need to use that.
The second biggest rule, if you really want this to work for you, we say
We're
11.
jumping ahead.
Is 11 not the next one?
No, we're still in the marketing benefits of participating in collabs,
Okay,
which
all
is
right.
the engagement.
Backing it up. Beep,
Backing up, but that was a good hook. Stay tuned for what happens at 11.
Tonight at 11.
Okay, you came up with one. Connect with hyper-local audience, the marketing benefit of a collab.
So with this, explain what the Sugar My State is. It is a very confusing name.
Yeah, again, I spent about 20 seconds on it.
You did.
So Corey thought it would be an interesting idea, and I agreed to sugar my state. So something in your state that is well known to your own people. So here's the thing. We have a mixing bowl.
We're a very transient area, so not
Yeah.
many people were born and raised here.
But when you know that somebody's raised here and you say like the mixing bowl, the nightmare on 66 painted
We
lights
all
disappear in
know.
the
That
rain.
brings us all together.
It's almost like an inside joke of your local community that people love to resonate with. So you can kind of see it if you've ever posted. And Corey and I were supposed to do this: take random obscure photos of Lake Ridge and see if people could guess where they are.
I know.
We should do that.
We should.
Your local audience really likes to see where they live. The same thing, we just like to see the car that we drive on the other side of the road, not on the side of the road. Ask me how I know. We just like to see the things that we're familiar with, and your audience will be excited to see something that they know and love in cookie form.
Yeah, it's just going to bring them closer to you in a non-salesy way.
Right. And they'll be like, oh, I know where that is, or I know what that is, or I love going there, or I've been there before. And then even you'll find that people that don't even live there anymore will be able to reminisce.
Yeah.
I was trying to brainstorm with a guy. There's a Facebook group for Facebook admins run by Facebook. And it's hard to get in. And I got in, so famous.
I got in too. I just
Okay.
don't post ever.
Right. So this guy, and then they kind of brainstorm new ideas. Oh, heads up, any people running Facebook groups that have anonymous posts turned on, they're going to go to automatic approval now. They're going to match your group settings.
Cannot wait to watch the
mayhem.
chaos unfold.
Yeah. Also, if you guys didn't know, anonymous posting, the admins still know who it is.
They know that. It says it when you post it.
Oh, really? I've never posted anonymous.
Yeah, it says
I go
someone
down
will
with my ship. I'd rather just not ask the question then. And this guy was like, hey, run a local community group.
What was funny is I run that local community group, and we don't have anonymous posting turned on.
Yeah.
So someone said, hey, can you ask for a divorce lawyer? So it was like, oh yeah, anonymous member post. Does anyone know a good divorce letter? And someone's like, just heads up, it's not anonymous. I see your name.
Oh, they thought like
It was like, oh no, I've already been divorced. I got a good lawyer on hand.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. Anyways, this guy in Padman's was asking like, hey, I can't seem to get engagement in my hyper local community group. And I said, hey, listen, people love seeing old photos of places.
Yeah.
I said, if you can find, so we live in a hyper metropolitan area that's really ugly. But if you can find, that used to be all farmhouses, maybe 50 or 60 years ago, people love to see the photos of where the mall used to look like, the old stores in the mall. When you see a Bed Bath & Beyond or Bath & Body Works with the old awnings, the gingham awnings, that kind of stuff really resonates with our audience because everyone's going to be like, oh, that triggers a memory. We like our memories. We like the walk down memory lane. So that is what this is about. It's to kind of harness that hyper-local audience Corey's saying to connect with. So when we say the Sugar My State, you're going to find something in your state that you know your audience will be like, I know exactly what that is. Even if us other cookiers don't know, we get to learn about it. And your audience gets to say, I know about that.
Yeah. One I should do, I know the mixing bowl is what I will do, but something hyper-local to me is I live right next to the Lake Ridge Nursery.
You like that nursery.
I do, but if you know what the Lake Ridge Nursery is, you'll be more apt to buy from me knowing that I live right across the street from it.
It'd be cute if you did the Lake Ridge Nursery and did all their plants.
She would love that.
The Lake Ridge Nursery lady.
Yeah.
Now, see, what Corey's doing there is she's getting additional engagement by featuring a business, which is kind of the Main Street collab mixed in there. And that's something you guys can do as well. A local business that is well known. Think ice cream shops.
Yes.
Stuff that folks really like. And you can kind of feature this business. You could sugar their logo. or it can do something that's well known in your state. Now, Corey and I live in Washington, D.C. area, so we got everything's well known.
Yeah, we do have like, some memorials. Is that the right?
Memorials?
Is that memorial?
You said memorial?
Memorials?
Got some of them memorial. Yeah.
Is that what we call memorials? That sounds so sad. Is it a memorial?
That's exactly what they are.
Okay.
And then
the
George
pencil?
Washington's house. That's the Washington Memorial.
Okay, good. Why that word sounds so weird?
I wouldn't necessarily do those bigger
Right, they're
attractions.
too big.
Attractions. The memorials are attractions. You don't do those fun attractions because they're too well known. And it almost seems like we call it the pencil, but the Washington Memorial, the Pentagon, those are just kind of two. So we'd want to almost make it a little bit more hyper local.
Yeah,
for my
to like Lake Ridge, because no one's driving from DC to me.
No. So Corey's got a great point there. You could do something that's well known in your state, especially if your state doesn't have a lot going on in your local area. But I think your local audience that can give you money, maybe even more excited. Here's like an interesting idea for anybody in South Carolina. South of the border. Is that still open?
I think it is.
That one, I don't know. I know south of the border because they have the big sombrero.
Yeah, but is that just because we've been on the interstate?
But I'm sure that people who
that's
live
not
there, people who live around south of the
That's
border.
like us doing.
Do you like it or hate it? I loved going to south of the border. What's some other ideas
of South Carolina?
No, just in general. Something that
I
you
was
think
thinking,
would
like,
resonate.
if someone's like, I don't really know anything around the town. I live in a small town. You could always do like the state bird, the state flower.
Oh, that's a safe bet.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah, it's not going to get that reaction.
See, you're like saying like a Main Street collabby, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
But all of these are options.
I know they are all options.
Yeah, so don't pigeonhole yourself and think that like, oh, I got to get a memorial.
I think where is General Motors at? Was that in Ohio?
I think it's in Detroit.
Oh, was it? Where did we pass by? Like that one would be a good one because anyone in that state would be like, oh my God, yeah.
Lordstown Motors, it closed out.
Oh, Lordstown.
Yeah, the company went under for lying.
Yeah, well,
about the battery. It's doing Cookie. So you lived in Ohio for a minute.
6 months with my eyes
What
closed.
did you see? I mean, okay, the Floridians could do Disney, but I think you could do like whatever's in that Everglades.
Oh, alligators. Yes.
You could even do like a set if you wanted of really obscure things that are all reminiscent of your specific area. So we could do the mixing bowl, and then we could do...
The mixing bowl has 3 green signs above a 7-lane highway. So
That's
that would be
one point.
easy to do because you would know exactly where that chaos starts.
Yeah. It's chaotic because you have only seconds.
And everyone's GPS
Seconds.
is like, get in the left lane, get in the right lane.
Yeah, even like Google will be like, take a right, stay left, then go right. But within 3 seconds, you have to determine to go in 4 different directions, but all directions will take you to another state.
But if you're visiting, which is normal, the people who are not visiting will just lay on the horn at you. You will have a panic attack at that little interchange.
You know what's really confusing? At the Springfield interchange, there's 2 different access points to the same side of the road. Do you know, like, if you're coming off of 495?
Yeah.
You'd be
So
like,
you're like, oh, I missed it. Oh, it's there.
got it. a little hope.
Every time me and Heather go to the Outback, I always take the
What if
wrong
you did-
road.
What if you did an easy pass transponder?
That would be hilarious.
So we have a lot of toll roads here. Again, so you can kind of see the methodology here is that something that shouldn't be a cookie is a cookie and only a hyper local.
Yeah, but now everyone has an easy pass in there because God forbid you get stuck in those lanes without one.
The funny thing is, I know you guys heard us complain about the toll roads here, but now, so the way that they seem to make it fair is that if you have 3 people in your car, you can actually disable your transponder, so you're not charged.
You can switch it over. You have to still have
You have to
one.
have it on there.
You switch it over to 3 people. I don't know
Yeah.
how they not thinking you're lying.
No, that's the thing. They've installed these cameras. It's a big thing on Reddit now.
What if you have tinted
That's
your
what
windows?
they're saying. They're saying my kid is too short to be seen through a window, but he was in
Yeah.
the back, and now I've gotten a fine for violating HOV3.
So what do you prove?
Now they're all these people are coming together like, I got fined too. I got fined too.
They're rolling out the rules. They're like, I don't know. We gotta get more money.
Only tall people can ride in HOV3. I was reading somewhere. I'm sorry. The transportation system in this area is very weird. I would say messed up and not well designed. But there's a slug line. I didn't realize most people don't know what a slug line is.
Really?
Yeah, I was seeing.
My neighbor was a slug line leader.
So great. So this sounds like it shouldn't be legal. Somebody on Reddit, the Northern Virginia subreddit, said, I don't think you guys understand. This sounds like it shouldn't work, but it does, because in the world of mass murder and serial killers. So here's the thing. You go to a parking lot and you stand just as a human amongst a ton of humans. Then random humans in their car will pick you and another
But
person
you can
up.
sign up for a professional slug
No, I want to
line.
talk about the rudimentary slug line. So you get in the car with somebody you don't know, and you're not allowed to talk, but you can all take the toll road together.
Yeah, and
But
save the money.
There's like courtesy, like you don't talk to the driver,
do
you
not
don't try to
talk.
connect, but you don't have to pay the toll.
No music. They
Yeah.
can't hear what you're listening to.
Yeah.
No TikToks.
Right. So basically, and then I think if you go enough times, you establish your slug line leader, and you just would get in with that
I think
car.
so. My neighbor was an actual slug line leader. Like, she drove the bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's like, normal people cars, like people just trying to get to work, and then you can join these bus things.
The bus ones, you have to contribute. First, you have to pay for the bus itself, and then you all pay for gas.
Ah.
Yeah, everyone has to chip
I
in
think
gas.
in the slug line of just a car, you don't pay anything. You don't have to pay towards anything.
But then you're taking turns of who's driving.
I don't know how it
No,
works.
that one person is not going to put that many
Wait,
miles
do you
on
know
their
the
car.
slug line is you just pick up strangers. You do not know who they are.
Yeah, but now it's a professional slugs.
No, I'm talking about unprofessional slugs.
Yeah, I
normal
would never
slugs.
do that. Oh my goodness.
You have to pay to slug to work. I have to call it. Why do they have to call it slug lining? About slugging, sluglines.com. What is slugging? Slugging is a term used to describe a unique form of commuting found in the Washington, D.C. area called instant carpooling or casual carpooling. It's unique because people commuting into the city stop and pick up other passengers even though they are total strangers. However, slugging is a very organized system with its own set of rules, proper etiquette, and specific pickup and drop-off locations. Thousands of okay. So what were we saying? If you have to pay? A car needing additional passengers to meet the required 3-person high occupancy HOV minimum pulls up to one of the known slug lines. The driver usually positions the car so that the slugs are on the passenger side. The driver either displays a sign with the destination or simply lowers a window to call out the destination, such as Pentagon, LaFont Plaza, or 14th and New York. The slugs first in line for that particular destination, then hop into the car, normally confirming the destination, and off they go. No money is exchanged. Because of the mutual benefit, the car driver needs riders just as much as the slugs need a ride. Each party needs the other in order to survive. Normally, there is no conversation.
Sound like an end of times movie?
The apocalypse has started and work is ended. Normally, there is no conversations unless initiated by the driver. Usually, the only words exchanged are "thank you" as the driver drops off the slugs at the destination.
Okay, you're done, right? Yeah, you're done. I see you're searching.
Wrong.
You're searching for more.
You completely
more
appended
things to
my absolutely interesting fact to tell me about expert slug lines, which don't exist. Learn more at slug-lines.com.
There you go.
So that would be an interesting thing. So back to kind of what to pull from for this.
Yeah.
If it sounds overwhelming, just pick up a memorial area that people go to or something like, a city center.
Yeah.
And then that's the third benefit of these collabs is forced content generation. So a lot of times you guys are knee deep in orders, horses, ponies, and mermaids.
Yeah.
What do you keep looking at?
People keep driving by.
Get on this slug line.
You gonna like it?
So this is kind of a fun way. I mean, Corey's never going to get an order for an easy pass transponder.
Yeah,
or
for
whatever.
sure. No.
So you get to make it more creative.
I will say it is a little bit annoying that you have to take. That's what I was staring at. It is annoying because you do have to take time out of your daily life, but a lot of you are taking breaks for the summer. So if you're like, I could use some content
Nice
to help,
content.
that would be
Nice little boost before you
a nice
take
little
a break.
boost. But you don't have to go complicated. I'd rather you do it than not do it. So you don't have to go insanely detailed or anything like that. Do just something that people are like, oh yeah, There's a restaurant where I live called the Electric Palm. It's been there for 50,000
That'd be
years.
hilarious. I went there to many a car show.
Yeah, so a lot of people know what it is.
The Electric Palm would be only known by people in the Woodbridge
Exactly.
area.
So that would be easy to make that like neon cookie sign.
That'd be super cute.
Do something.
That'd be a good one for you.
I know, but you wanted me to do the mixing bowl.
Just all of them. I think they all.
I got so many orders.
I want 15 cookies. You can take with me at the slug.
I want slug cookies for the slug line.
So that is an interesting thing. There are no rules on the content you generate. However, I do encourage you to make something specific for this collab, not just to use something that you've had in your back pocket. Meet the Baker Bros. To really try to put some creative effort in this. You will see an increased engagement if you do that.
You look like Dad today.
My God, you were in a mood and I don't like it.
Looks like Dad.
I've been using
It's
That
just the way your
cream.
mouth was while you was talking.
I was born with it. I've had it for 30
I know it. You really look like Dad today.
Stop looking at me. I want a new twin. I'm taking twin applications. Apply immediately in this life. So tips for this collab. Stop looking in my mouth. You said post at the right time.
Okay. Glenn, stop.
Your mouth is like mom.
God darn it. I was just kidding. Okay, posting at the right time is very important. Here's why. Most people are going to post at 11 Eastern Standard Time. That is when you're going to get most bang for your buck.
I'd almost wagered that after 11, don't do it.
Yeah, a lot of
Don't
people
be
will do
late.
it 24 hours later.
Don't be late and don't be early.
Yeah. If you're early, you miss when people are logging on. And, you know, the way that hashtags are set up, sometimes people are doing like the top post
But
versus the most recent.
with the scheduling option within Facebook Planner, there's no excuse not to be directly on time. You
Right.
can set it up the night before, go to bed, and then say, oh my goodness, look at all my,
Yeah.
because your notifications will start blowing up.
So most
when that
people who
post
are
goes
doing the collab will be on Instagram at 11. So that's why you want to get on there when they're on there. So you're engaging with their comments to get even more reach. So
I always
when
feel
they're
bad for the
commenting-
Australians, they're like, it's 2 a.m. of the next day. I'm just logging on.
Sometimes I'll see people post like 8 hours later, but I know most people have, you know, moved on with their day.
And I don't want you to think that like, wow, these collabs don't work. They don't work if they're not during that real specific hour. You will get some increased engagement, but nowhere near like if
as
you post
much
it
as you
at
could.
11.
So if you're doing any of the work, like baking and making something,
Yeah.
definitely partake in it at 11. A lot of times people are like, well, I can schedule my post, but I can't come back and
Making,
engage with
baking, and
people.
partaking.
Partaken. Just know, don't be dead taken. Sometimes my brain is like working, but my mouth is not.
I said to the algorithm lady, breadsticks, but I said stead bricks. I need to catch it. I was so excited.
Stead bricks. Okay, before someone leaves us another 1-star review for giggles. Post at 11. Okay, post at 11. Sometimes life happens and you can't come back and no wonder we have such a poor I am very odd too.
Okay, let's talk about caption ideas. Now I have.
Oh
written
wait,
here-
let me just get what I was getting out. Partaken. Just kidding. Okay, so sometimes you can post at 11, but you can't come back and do. You can't do all the engagement at 11 because life is happening. You have a farmer's market you have to be to. You're picking
And
up
that's
kids.
fine.
Just come back. Yeah, come back.
Take this. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna leave this in because we deserve the bad review. You're allowed to go do this.
Okay, what's the next one?
Okay, caption ideas. Now I do. This is the thing. The collab is you're like, well, I put in a lot of effort for the cookies, but you have to get the caption to match the energy. Otherwise, you're kind of just letting all that hard work go to waste.
In the past, I have written captions for people, but that's because it was easier to do. This is so tailored to you.
We
I
can't talk about south of the border. All I know is what the signs look like on the interstate. You're looking about to laugh, and I'm trying not to.
I'm trying to get past it mentally, so I don't. Glenn?
Why do I look like that?
I don't know the way your mouth was.
I think
it was
you
a very
stared at him at the
Glenn.
wedding.
Yeah, I did stare at him for a while.
Okay, I would like a longer caption. Thoughts on this?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say use hashtags. Yes, use the hashtag that we need to use, Sugar Cookie Marketing Collab, but use local hashtags that only your audience cares about.
Yeah.
Even don't worry about us. We'll figure it out. We understand what the collab is, but worry about your audience. So let's say if Corey did hashtag Easy Pass or a hashtag Toll Roads or a hashtag HOV, something like that, if she's doing this like transponder idea, then that will get people in our local audience that will be like, oh, I know what that is. And then we can reach more. So basically a post made on Instagram without a hashtag is orphaned. It's unsearchable. You cannot find it.
to what your audience can see if you don't use a hashtag.
Right. And even then I feel like you're not even reaching most of your audience because even Facebook's like, well, nobody's engaging with it and must not be good. And so we're going to drop it out of the feed. So I would start with my caption. So let's pretend, are you doing that like Easy Pass?
Let's pretend we are.
Okay. So I would say, Corey would write the caption to introduce an unknown audience to it but also including some inside jokes that are her local audience. So it'd be like, hey guys, my Cookie Collab feature this month is the mixing bowl. If you haven't ever experienced a mixing bowl, it's a nightmare made of cement, like things like that, and kind of introduce people to what it is, but enough that your audience is like, oh man, when I moved here, that was crazy. Yeah. Then we have relate to that hyper local audience. So it's okay to use an inside joke here, even if the cookie people, us, don't get it.
What we don't want you to do is be like, I love Lake Ridge. Like, we all know you love Lake Ridge, so you got to give them something. I want you to ask a question. Like, how long have you lived in Lake Ridge? And everyone's like, if you're having people like 32 years, I'm recently in Lake Ridge. Buy cookies.
Corey could ask, has anyone ever driven on the mixing bowl, even if they're passing through, which opens the broad question to people who have driven through it.
Who has been cut off in the mixing bowl?
I have cut them off. But so we're kind of increasing that. Now, what happens when you use these really, really short captions, like really fun making now? It's hard for the rest of us to engage with you at all.
Yeah, especially when we don't know your area. We're looking for any sign of life that we can use.
Because you're forcing these bakers, because they're trying to follow the rules and engage with your content, to just be like, that looks really nice. And then you're going to say, well, I don't know what to say back when they say it looks nice. Well, you didn't give them enough to write anything. So when in doubt, use a list. Use a list and add some information in that list.
People love reading lists. They're easy to read. You will identify with at least one thing on the list.
Right. So a list, 5 things you don't know about my specific area. That's going to give us a lot of opportunity to write back to you and tell you and engage with you. But if you're goodness, people, if you're even just using emojis as your caption, just stop that altogether. It's not worth your time to even post it.
Yeah, it's not giving us enough to go off
There's nothing. All we can respond to an emoji is with an emoji. Or with I really like that.
Like heart, kissy face.
So I'm going to challenge you guys over 100 characters. 2 paragraphs. 2 paragraphs. Come on. The bigger you make this caption, the better your marketing will be. Yeah. And I'm not lying here. I'm not trying to waste your time. I'm telling you that you are wasting your time when you just do those emoji, had fun making this set. Yeah. You're not giving anybody anything to connect with.
No one's going to expand the comments to read any of the comments back to you, because there's going to be nothing worth reading.
Corey could make something about what's the highest speeding ticket you got, or was the last time you got a speeding ticket. Anybody here has never gotten a speeding ticket. Those kind of things, humans love to talk about themselves. Yeah. Give them the microphone, and you're going to do that through your caption. I can't begin to stress to you that the caption is almost as important as a cookie.
It is also a social signal. The longer that someone spends time with your post, them pressing the see more button, them expanding the comments, that all counts as social signals. Yeah. So that is all engagement. It's not just someone who leaves a comment or likes your post that's engagement. It's all those things combined.
Instagram even knows how long somebody stopped their scroll, and that factors into that algorithm as well. So you got to consider it. And another big thing is your picture crop 4x5. So that it's longer than it is wide. Yes. That way it takes up more phone screen. That way people stay on it longer. That way it's bigger to them. So it's all, again, this marketing strategy behind these kind of fun collabs. Yeah. Moving on, we have encourage conversation, which I think we kind of covered with the whole kind of asking questions or engaging or giving us a personal story as it relates to you. Things like that.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, don't waste the opportunity of what a collab can bring you, no matter which one it is.
Now, here's the things that we talked about, but the little bit more of advanced, if you want to squeeze more juice from this collab berry, is using the local hashtags. The way you can do that, you'll want to research what those hashtags are before the collab. Yeah. The best way to do that is using the search feature on Instagram and seeing what people are searching for. If people aren't using, so we have 1 million words to call the toll road. Find the one that people are relating to most and use that one.
Yeah. So instead of toll road, which there's toll roads everywhere, people call them the Lexus lanes up here.
Yeah, hot lanes, HOV lanes, but one of those is going to be more relatable than the others, and it's Corey's job to research which word is, and that's the one she's going to use. You can only use a max of 30 hashtags. I know a lot of people just kind of regurgitate the same old sugar cookies of Instagram.
I know, but if you can get it more hyper-local, you can sit at the top of a local hashtag for a long time. You should see the Lake Ridge hashtag. It's just my cookies.
Right. So in a way, that would signal that's a dead hashtag, but in a way, Corey's dominating maybe a dormant hashtag.
It's because it's such a small area.
See how it is. And I know people hate niching down because you're like, I can relate to more people if I do the Washington Memorial or if I do George Washington's house. But niching down to hyper-local Lake Ridge Nursery where people even in the next county over have no clue what you're talking about.
We've driven by it a bazillion times. We all know what it is.
in Lake Ridge.
Yeah.
And nobody else does. And it feels like, well, I've just, halved my audience. I've just quartered my audience. Absolutely. But the people who do know what it is are going to scream from the mountaintops because they've been seen of this hyper-local thought.
There's this hyper-local road, and it's only Lake Ridge to Old Bridge.
It's the only way to get to Lake Ridge.
Yeah, but it ends because of Prince William County Parkway. So it's only...
Old Bridge is the only artery for you to get home. If Old Bridge has an accident on it, Lake Ridge is not getting home.
Lake Ridge is closed. So I could do one on Old Bridge, because if you know what Old Bridge is, you're in my audience.
What if you did, thoughts, the intersection of Old Bridge and 123, that light?
Oh, yeah. It's chaos.
Yeah. Just kind of the over, Google Maps layout. That would be funny.
I should do the Occoquan cop who gets all the Lake Ridge people.
So funny. So, Corey, to get to Lake Ridge, you have to go down a road called 123. It's a beautiful little area, but there's a huge down, what's it called when the hill goes down? Incline, decline?
Decline.
At the end of the decline, you're at 50 miles an hour, it suddenly drops to 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then there's a police running radar.
Always.
He only can pull you over in this small.
He has like a 10-foot stretch that he can pull you over.
But if his radar says, ask me how I know. Have you ever been pulled over there?
Mm-mm.
Everybody else has that.
I know.
It's almost like you can tell your watch.
You can tell. I can tell who lives here and who doesn't by the brake lights.
Yeah. When people are flying, I'm like, best of luck to you, friend.
And he doesn't. He catches everybody. He's never taken a day off.
There's this perfect alcove where he sits and he can see you from a mile away.
But you can't see him.
You cannot see him.
That would be hilarious because everyone knows him.
So funny. Let's do that. Let's do the turn.
How would I do that?
We'll just get the police car and we'll have to figure out his paint code.
I would try to
it's
do
like yellow,
a cop
right?
car.
Yeah.
No, he's white and blue. It looks like it's just the Ford Explorer.
Yeah. You could edit it if you want to
I
find
know, yeah. But we'll think.
And then Corey has an advanced tip is tag a business location. So again, that kind of marries the Main Street collab. If Corey tagged the Lake Ridge Nursery,
one would be easy for her too.
The Lake Ridge Nursery is a plant place, just so you guys who don't have kids aren't like me thinking that she was talking about a place to leave your baby. The Lake Ridge Nursery, that Lake Ridge Nursery lady is very responsive to social engagement. She would definitely share it. And look, not only would you have your hyper-local audience, you'd have hers too.
You might be saying, but you just said Corey drives down 123. What would you tag there? There's a local area called Visit Occoquan, and that's what you'd be traveling through. But that'd be a great place to tag.
We could tag multiple people.
Yeah, you could.
In that.
For sure.
For sure. So that takes us kind of through the breakdown of these collabs and putting that marketing cap on. Yeah. You can really stretch them to make them more bang for your buck. Because otherwise, if you do a collab and it doesn't get a lot of bang for the buck, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you're like, that was a lot of work.
It was a ton of work. And you will get increased engagement because that's the way the design.
And our collabs are good because we can reach so many people.
Our collabs are the best.
Our collabs are the best because we can reach so many people. So a lot of people participate.
Right, because we open them up to a group. So I think Meet the Baker was probably the most.
For sure.
The Susan Reed one was very good.
That one was really good.
A lot of people did Blue Hearts, which was fun. But I think we're looking around 100 to 250 people participate.
That's a ton.
This one may be a little bit more advanced, but that's why we're doing this podcast to help break down the simplicity of it.
So there's no excuses.
Right. So you can make this as complex as you want, but all we want to do is relate to that audience. Yeah.
And I'd much rather you do something than nothing, because this can definitely help you during these harder to reach people times, where people are traveling, you can end up in a little bit more feeds, and if they save your post for later, that's great. Then you can reach them again, hopefully.
This type of content, you could also repurpose and post LOL in a local community group.
Oh, for sure.
And that's going to get
that's so true.
Yeah, that's going to get a lot.
Especially that Occoquan cop.
That Occoquan cop, yeah. That man's famous.
He's famous. I'd almost drive it over to him.
I know.
Sir,
that'd be
I got something for you. Don't pull me over.
This is not a bribe. Please don't put me over. Please don't pull over Heather. So that breaks down the collab. So just to recap when it is this month. It is June 23rd on Friday. We find Fridays work best for people at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you're not on the East Coast, that is going to be a different time for you. It's not on a Thursday, unless you're in Australia, maybe on a Monday. I have no idea where you guys are in the future. But do make sure that you understand the time difference, because a lot of times that's probably the biggest issue. Yeah, people think, it's at that is 11 Mountain. We have 4 time zones of the brick and mortar U.S., right? The U.S. that's stuck together, we have 4 time zones.
Yes.
And then Alaska and Hawaii is like
they're on
yesterday.
Yeah.
And Australia is like, no, Australia's tomorrow.
Are they 2024?
They're in 2027. So that takes us through the collab. Corey will be participating. I'll be engaging.
You'll be making
But Corey and I will share.
We do.
to our stories.
We do it until Instagram slaps us on the hand and says, you've done it too many times, and then we take
which
a couple
is why
hour
it
break.
should be on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think typically Corey and I would just sit, which we have to be. Oh no, that's classes this Saturday.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Do you want to go to the mailbag?
The mailbag.
I feel like there's a mailbag.
We went to the mail. By me, I mean we. Oh, by we, I mean we.
Okay, walk us through what we got.
Okay, we have it. So I was bribed in the Cookie College.
Okay.
Bribed. Someone wanted to teach
This is a bribe.
Someone wanted to teach the hamburger cookie class.
Last 2 years ago, Corey and I. Well, let's tell them why we ever came up with the hamburger cookie class. 2 years ago, Corey and I thought we'd do a 4th of July in-person cookie class. Turns out nobody wanted it.
Yeah,
but
people
us.
were traveling.
Yeah, we scheduled it on July 3rd, and people weren't around.
Yeah.
So we had to cancel that class.
So what we said was, let's do it for after the holiday, and we'll do something like summer fun. So we said, let's do the hamburger set. We didn't think anyone was going to sign up, but we sold out the class, and it's you have your 2 buns. You have 2 buns. You have the hamburger patty. I think a lettuce was in there and a tomato and a piece of cheese. So it was a lot of cookies, but it was a fun set.
Okay.
So someone in the Cookie College was like, I'd really, really like to use the photos and teach this class.
Right.
We were not going to roll it out because it actually has 5 different colors. None of them are white. And are any of them white?
No.
No, because we didn't do the seeds. The little sesame seeds were sprinkles.
What do we do? Oh, yeah.
And it's like 6 cookies versus, or it's 7 cookies versus 6 cookies. So I was not going to teach that ever again.
So people said,
if we send you something into the mailbag, will you let us have that class? And I said, I am bribable.
So we got these chocolates with our faces.
We did.
One chocolate says, there's a podcast. I'm sorry, chocolate caramel with almonds.
Yeah, almonds.
Our faces on it look adorable. One says, Corey's my favorite twin, Heather's my favorite twin. One says sugar cookie marketing, and the other says there's a podcast.
It's so stinking cute.
Cute.
So she followed up on her. So delish. Nice.
Now this is Cookie College member. It's made Cookie College shirts.
What does it say?
Look.
Why does it look so cute?
Christy did this and sent it. She said, what's your Addie? And there she wanted to make Cookie College shirts for CookieCon.
Oh, it says Ruby's in the back.
Yeah.
And that says
That's so
Cookie
cute.
College.
So
That
she
is
gave us those.
adorable. Love.
And then, oh, you ordered something?
Oh, yeah, I ordered Americolor.
Tell people what you ordered.
Okay, so Americolor did have a few new colors that came out. So I was like, you know what? Let me stock them on them. But I don't know why they sent it to the business address. But the ones I got, they have a robin's egg color, which I think would be pretty for Easter. They had a lemonade color, which was like a more subtly lemonade yellow color. They had ash was new. I'd never seen it before. Burnt umber and burnt orange, which I love for the holidays. Pistachio. Sherbet I did not have. And peacock I did not have
It's like we're listening to the
either.
Slugline story.
Huh?
It's like we're listening to this.
You should tell them what I got. You weirdo. I got
The note on the chocolate says, my favorite twin, the one in the pic. That we're in. Then
Then the other ones with the electric
why are these
kit.
in a weird... Oh, this is a preset kit.
Yeah, I did not know that. And it comes with bright colors. We got electric pink,
Yes, you
electric
did not have it.
purple, electric orange.
How much you want?
They're just bright, yeah.
You don't think you had something close? Or would you have to brew it?
I don't know. I want to see it against like how would electric get.
How much did the electric ones cost? They
I
look
don't
bigger
know.
than the
They're
other
all
ones.
no, they're the same size. I think they're $3.75 each.
Oh,
Yeah.
how long does it last?
It depends forever. I mean, but the ones that I don't know why I always grab for soft pink. I just do, but it's almost empty.
Did you get soft pink?
You can get that one at Hobby Lobby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not Americolor. It's a Sunnyside Up version, but they have the same name, same size.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you guys for sending. Choking on all that. Get a little bit of that
in there. We almost had her.
My dad's listening. Okay, we have a podcast question or two.
Podcast question.
That's way loud.
Podcast question.
Sue says, hello, twins. I'm enjoying your podcast immensely. Since I found it and have been working my way through the entire series, I don't have a favorite twin because at this point, I can't tell you apart most of the time, but I will work on it. I'm from Western Massachusetts, and my brand new bakery is called Custom Cookie Concepts. My question is around corporate orders. I really like the idea of doing logo and image cookies for the companies in my area, but I'm not sure how to get those orders. I'm retired. My family is flung far and wide, and I don't have many contacts in that respect. I'm also not the most extroverted person. The thought of approaching companies makes me a little anxious, to be honest. Not alone.
Not a problem.
My social outreach right now consists of a Facebook business page, a Square site for order quotes and invoices, and a Google My Business page. What are some strategies you could recommend and thoughts on what not to do?
Okay, here's something I do recommend is a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is where business people go to be social. To brag about their new positions. But LinkedIn's a great place. You know, if I do a corporate order, I will tag them on LinkedIn. And most often it's the business owner that's behind that. Even if they ordered or not, they'll be the ones that actually see the notification.
Now, to create a LinkedIn business profile, you'll need a LinkedIn personal profile, which is two profiles, which is two more increased ways to connect with business owners. LinkedIn is a employment networking site.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're cutting through having to directly approach somebody.
Yeah.
But you're able to enter their space and you send friend requests, unlike Facebook, to anybody.
But here's the thing. I don't like to send it to just everybody. No. If I go to a networking group and I get your business card, even if we didn't chit chat, I could send a LinkedIn request and be like, hey, I saw you across the room at so-and-so event.
Thoughts on this? She doesn't want to go to a networking event. Let's pretend.
Okay.
Could she go to a community group and say, hey guys, I've recently created a LinkedIn profile. I was hoping to connect with business owners in the area. Here's my LinkedIn page. Please send me a request. Thoughts?
Yes. Here's also to that. Because sometimes that's you're trying to sell to me and I don't know. If you go to make a logo cookie of your logo. Okay. That's easy because you already have and then post in a local community group. Hey, looking for some business owners who wouldn't mind me using their logo for some marketing material, and what you get is free cookies.
That is almost my favorite approach.
Thank you.
The question has been closed. That is a great approach because essentially, yes, you are giving free product, but they're coming to you.
And you're letting them know, hey, this is something I offer without being like, buy my stuff.
And you're not violating, respect the sales rules. If there's a no sales policy in a group, but there's a sales day, I would make my post, even though it's not selling, on that day.
Yes. And then you definitely don't. You're not getting on anyone's bad side.
No admin is going to be happy thinking that they think you're smarter than them.
True. I will say there's this local baker to me. Her name is Cori, Cori. She does cake pops. Oh. I gave her some free cookies the other day for her kids. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, hey, I would like to have you to have some free cake pops.
Nice.
So I got them yesterday. Oh. I took a little professional photo because my camera is always just sitting there with an A Corbacker. And I posted in the Lake Ridge Ladies group.
Which Cori manages, so she's not breaking her own rule.
No, it's my, But it's not breaking the sales day because I'm recommending her.
Well, that's really awesome because you're also a third party, but it takes a lot to get people to take that amount of effort.
I know.
But I do like that one. Another thing, what I would not do is cold emailing. If it's anything like my inbox, it is already bombarded with cold emails.
Can I throw this out? This is a little bit gray, Hattie.
Okay.
If you have a friend who owns a business, make them the cookies. Then ask them, would you be so nice as to post this in this local group?
Genius.
And I'll send you the photo, which is staged and edited.
Please do not take a photo yourself. That's a great one, too. That gets you around. One, the thing is you're giving people this free product, so you're not necessarily forcing them to buy from you. You are getting the eyes that you need to make that sale, and you're not violating any of the rules. I really like it because a lot of people win, and that makes you win as well. Mm. But cold emailing, if you guys don't know what that is, it's sending somebody who's never heard of you ever, and you're soliciting for business.
And you might think, this is genius. I'll just send it to them. I'll be able to score the sale. But you do not understand how many cold emails a company gets every single day.
So, because Cori and I have run websites for a long time, I usually tell clients, hey, the email that you want on your website that's public facing will be scraped. When it is scraped, it will be pummeled to death with cold emails. So I usually tell them to create a catch-all, and I usually just go in and absolutely delete everything there. You're competing with so many.
We're getting emails 20 a day.
Just wild. And none of them, almost I can tell they're using the same template. And then if you don't reply.
Sure. They're just wanted to bump this.
Or the new thing, have you seen, can you connect me with a person who does?
Yeah, I'm that's so rude. It was me. I'm
decided that I'm definitely not going to write you back. So what you don't want to seem is a cold email. There's ways to kind of get around cold emailing, but it's so bogged down right now that I almost think it's not worth it. It'd be a waste of your time while you feel like you're doing something, you're doing nothing.
And then you'll be like said like, oh, nothing happened.
It's also a quick and fast way to burn your email address.
True.
Meaning if you send enough emails to enough cold audience, and they claim you as spam, you will never be able to send emails from that domain again.
But you can make, and lastly, a Facebook ad to business owners and people who run pages. That's typically a business owner behind that.
If you can kind of stomach going to a networking group, that's probably a quick and fast way to do what Corey said in person.
It's a great way to also get recommended a lot. You know, people love to give they love to refer somebody. So if someone's like, yeah, I'm looking for something to do for my clients this Christmas, and they met you at a networking group, they'll type your name away.
The fun part of marketing cookies versus marketing a product that's kind of like what the business actually needs to sell is that your decision maker is likely the person at the front desk.
Yeah.
Oftentimes those people are the gate to the business owner, but as a baker, oftentimes the person at the front desk is managing the office parties and the client gifts. So that's the person that you walk into is the one that you need to
sweeten up.
Literally. So I would kind of focus on that if you wanted to go. Obviously, and I hate this, you're going to get the most results by walking into an office. True. But don't feel
taxing. Like you can't get sales if you don't, you can.
Yeah. But if you want that instantaneous bang for your buck, I used to have to do them at a job I worked at. It was grueling for both me and the people I walked into.
I did it so much that it became like
Popeyes.
Second nature.
Popeyes. For a long time, I was like, Popeyes? Popeyes?
Yeah. KFC.
Yeah. But you could do that. That is hard to do.
It is hard.
So it's not my favorite approach. However, you do get an immediate answer and response.
I do kind of like networking groups because it's set up for that. And no one's like, why are you here?
If you're wondering how to find networking groups, you can always find a Business Networking International, which is a BNI.
Listen, what I'm going to say, go into a local community group and say, does anyone know any local?
Be pummeled.
With
recommendations for groups. A lot of times real estate agents will run.
I'm going to take a bite.
Whoa. A lot of times real estate agents will run networking groups so you can get in with them. And then you already have that real estate agent. Now, how can we sweeten that? Make a real estate agent cookie set and give it to that real estate agent and ask them to share it. And you guys can kind of see how that web of marketing is created. And referral source. Okay, I know we had one more newsletter from Jenna.
Newsletter?
Sorry, I was reading the word newsletter. Wait, that was not as funny as you made it out to be. Hold on. Okay, Jenna sends this one. She said, hello. I heard you say on the last pod, which she did send this a long time ago, so I'm not sure when this was, that you aren't getting any text. Oh, I sent this text on April 24th. We are getting text now. Great. 571-556-5644. However, these are emails. You can also email in hello@sugarcookiemarketing.com. And I'll read it on the podcast. She said, here's a new one for me. After my cookie class last Saturday, I had one person ask for a one-on-one class and another person inquire about purchasing a custom set. And I was so awkward about both of these. I'm very good at marketing myself behind a keyboard, but how do you learn to give that I know my worth pricing in person with confidence? I have a feeling you're going to tell me to practice in front of a mirror. LOL. Is that the secret? Thank you.
I will say, after someone has taken a dark
Can I tell you this? She wrote more.
Oh, yeah.
She said, by the way, I've listened to the podcast start to finish 3 times now. There weren't any episodes when I started. There weren't as many episodes when I started, because it increasingly gets longer. My kids know you as the funny cookie ladies. My favorite episodes are about refunds because now those were incredibly eye-opening, and I rewrote my business policies after listening to them. I love the way you guys teach and the examples that you use. Thanks for rocking the world of female entrepreneurs.
Oh, my soul.
And Mike Skyring. And Greg.
Thanks.
So back to our original question, which again, it is hard to sell.
But I will say, after someone takes a class, it's the easiest time to say, yeah, I charge an arm and a leg, because what you just made was an hour and a half.
What do most people say?
They're like, I understand why it costs so much now.
I'm never doing this again. That's from my cookie class.
If you're not good at like tackling that conversation, what I do is bring business cards to my custom, and I say, hey, if you don't mind, send me some inspiration photos to my email on this business card, and I can totally quote you when I see it.
Oh, nice, because you're giving yourself a little space from that.
Yeah, so it's not that jarring in person where they're like, oh my God, why is it $80?
Corey and I do pull the whole husband and wife thing. A lot of times, sometimes people are like, I want it my own private class, okay? They're very kind of abrasive, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm not sure we're free for that day, but let me go talk to Corey after this to see if her schedule's clear.
She's like, okay, I need to get a Corey.
Yeah. To give yourself kind of that space, that mental space to really quote it out. Well,
If you don't have somebody, you can say, oh, yeah, you know what? If you don't mind, can you email me the date and time you're looking for? I'm going to check my calendar back on my end, make sure everything lines up, and I'll let you know if I have that date open. That gives you some mental space, which we do love mental space.
If you guys are offering one-on-one classes, consider your pricing before someone's ever asked that. Corey and I do not do it because that would be 2 twins in one person's house. However, there's a lot of people who do. Corey, are you eating it?
It's very hard.
I'll just talk to this while she tackles that.
Caramel.
So we came up with a pricing for one-on-one classes that's so high it's ridiculous. That way it's, please don't buy from me pricing is what they call it. But you can say, hey guys, my one-on-one classes, they start at around $350. If you want to send me an email, I'll get that quote. It may vary depending on what you guys want to learn. Then giving yourself, again, that more space to create a quote that's both fair to you and appropriate for them. Corey and I, since we don't teach one-on-one classes, I tell people, hey, send me an email. I'll give you some referrals to people I know who do teach that. And that's always a quick out. Again, creating that space. If you did want to teach the class, you could
If you want to teach personal classes for someone who's going to start a business of baking, so like essentially they're going to be your competition, to give someone the know-how without having to mess up a million times has to cost some money. We always have started businesses and knowing it was going to take some sort of investment. So do not go cheap on it. If you had a business that was given to you, recipes and everything, and you learn trial and error, wouldn't that cost? Would you be willing to pay $700?
That's what a franchise is, and that's why the franchise fees are so high for the initial buy-in.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to charge your worth there. That's why, they're going to have a recipe that's going to last them for years upon years upon years. That's got to cost them something.
Absolutely. So what I would do again is create that immediate space. Tell them absolutely, let me check my schedule. So you can always get the out if you need to, and then price accordingly. But I would say a lot of times when people ask one-on-one after they finish a cookie class, they're thinking that price is going to be the same. Yeah. So I like to say, oh, awesome. Yeah, my private classes start at this. Send me an email. I'll send you a quote. And then
if they never email you, that first quote was
that do not buy from me price work. But yeah, I would never teach a one-on-one class at the same price that we teach a public class. What I often tell people is hey, a public class is 10 people at $75, at $750. We can do a private class of you and your friends at $750. You can have up to 10. And then they kind of understand okay, if I wanted to do a private class of only 2, we'd be at $350 a piece. So something to consider there. It is a great question. And thank you guys so much for texting and emailing in.
Thank you.
If you guys want to continue this, which is a very fun part of the podcast, I think, you can.
Everyone's like, no, I don't think that.
When do you guys eat more of that? Mute. It is 571-556-5644 or email in at hello@sugarcookiemarketing.com. The new thing we started is the Wednesday newsletter goes out on, you'll never guess, Tuesday, just kidding, Wednesday. But we've included a free transfer sheet. That transfer sheet link expires at the end of every 7 days. So the one that is available now, which is beach balls, will be disappearing in an hour. And then tomorrow, anybody on the newsletter list can get...
Which one are you doing?
I don't know. What should I do?
Starfish?
Should I make a new one? Oh, I can do this.
Wait, let me think. I don't want to waste. Guys, what should I
do? If you say, I don't want your crappy newsletters, I just want the transfer sheets, you can sign up at cookietransfers.com and get every transfer sheet for just $2. Not each sheet is $2. No, all the sheets are just $1.
All the sheets are $2.
Yeah.
Found my cuss there. I had to double check. Sheets.
Only sheet. Sorry. We're the funny cookie family. Going on. Tell us more about the Cookie College. Corey just dropped a class.
Oh, these classes.
It is the Cookie College gets everything. The Cookie College is comprised of everything we offer, including the $2 transfer club, the digital downloads, the cookie class kits, and the Cookie College material itself.
And the Better Business Bureau.
Basics. But the Cookie Class Kits is also its individual membership if you want to save a couple bucks. That said, we dropped the July class. Now, we dropped the classes a month ahead of time so you can start marketing them in June to fill them in July. However, we're teaching
so cute because Heather actually switched out our class for Saturday. to this class that we just dropped.
You know, because I build out the PowerPoint. Corey builds out the set, and then I create the step-by-step tutorial that you guys can use in your class, which we use in our class. And it was just an easier class, I think. The turtle is a hard one.
And he's not even that hard.
No, but he would be the most difficult one. If you wanted to like trim your class down to 5 cookies, I would drop the turtle, although he's cute.
Why? Because it's little back details.
His back, how you have to kind of interpret the cookie's shape.
Yeah.
That's why I think people... But a lot of people will actually draw that on for people with an edible marker.
True.
Should we do that?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Not going to do it. Because that's just going to be a me job and not a you job.
I can scribble it on there.
You just make it...
On there?
You see where it's jetting out the other side? You just jet it out that side.
You explain that to me.
I will. Jetting it out. We're jetting it out. I'll let you know how it goes.
So the Cookie Class kits, this one is a set of 6 cookies, and it, for the first time, doesn't use white.
It's under the sea.
It is punchy and fun, and it's all sea creatures. It's not a wave. It's a
octopus,
a crab, turtle,
seahorse,
starfish.
There's one we're missing.
Turtle? Where's Sam?
I think he said turtle.
Seahorse?
Crab. Octopus. There is a totally missing there.
Okay, I got it right here. What do you think it is?
Okay, hold on. Octopus. Okay. Hold on. Octopus, crab.
Okay.
Starfish, seahorse, fish.
That's fish is who it is. Yeah, and they're punchy. I'm going to tell you the colors is apricot.
I went crazy.
Turquoise. What's the other one? Oh, Mustardo. No. What was the
Dijon.
Okay, so the colors are fun, and we are teaching it this. I would have dropped off personally. If we need to, we will. The little section cup details on the octopus and the details on the turtle shell if we need to save time. So what Corey and I will do if we find a class is lagging and lunch ain't, we'll say, I'll just look at her and do this one like dad eyebrow mouth raise. Yeah. And she'll be like, okay. And then we'll skip those last few slides where the details kind of...
I listen for your stomach growling and I'm like, okay, we're going to have to cut out all this.
I'm hungry. I'm already hungry thinking about Saturday. It's like when you go to church and the pastor's like, in closing, and your stomach's like, in closing.
And he'll be like, let's take a moment. And you're like...
And you have to do like an entire stomach workout. And somebody hand me a bento quick. So that is what we're teaching. If you want to check out that specific class, you can go to cookieclasskits.com. But if you want to sign up for that and everything else, you can go to thecookie.college.com and choose the Cookie College at checkout.
Should I tell them what August's theme is going to be?
Yeah, we actually haven't told the Cookie College this either.
Yeah, I just came up with that. It is groovy. Like Peace Out Summer.
I like this one because you can actually teach it all year round.
Yeah, so it'll be a smiley face, which is on trend right now. A peace sign with florals on it.
Cute.
Let me think what else.
You're doing a tighter now?
The front of a VW bus.
Cute.
What did you just say?
Did you say a tie-dye shirt? You initially
No, I cut the tie-dye. Nate said no.
Nate gonna say?
Yeah, he was
Nate's
so interested
deciding
in
what we
telling
do.
Me. And 2 other ones. I can't remember what
do you want to
they
pull it up?
Sure. Oh, because I sent her the name.
Uh-huh. Okay, you said white, peach, pink, maroon, burgundy.
Yes.
The cutter idea is a smiley face, peace sign with hand.
Yeah, this peace sign, and then the circle peace sign with the, the.
Oh, I would have said hand in the shape of a peace sign, but okay. VW bus, Daisy sunglasses.
Oh yeah, Daisy sunglasses.
Poor SPO, Sweet Pink Olive, trying to infer what
she's been texting.
We might scrape on the icing for the glasses part, and then.
Will you stop reading my email?
I didn't read it when you said it. Woo woo. Okay, that's cute. So initially we were gonna do ice cream, which is cute for sure.
It's cute,
but the ice cream one you can only teach in the summer. And we wanted to give you the members something that they could teach in the winter, in the summer, in the spring, whatever.
Because there is Australians taking these classes. Yeah. And they're in the dead of winter.
In the dead of winter.
Which is still feels like summer over there.
They said that it's dead of summer, and they're like, get your shorts on, it's time for Santa to come. That's really crazy.
They also said they needed to
She also said,
help
please
you with
stop
your
trying
accent, because that was offensive.
Shrimp on the bobby. I'll go to Outback and brush
There
up
you go.
on it.
There you go. Okay, let's go to our sponsors.
Span says, well, Corey already mentioned AE Core backers. You want to walk us through why you love them?
AE Core Backers is a food-safe backdrop. If photography is your Achilles heel.
Photography.
Is your Achilles heel. You're like, I can never get it right. It never looks good. I hate doing it on my kitchen table. You need to look into AE Core Backers. It's food safe. They're matte. They're rigid. I use the white matte finish one all the time. Polar white is a little bit of a brighter white. They have marbles. Look them up.
Marvelous sale.
Yeah. Look them up on Instagram to see how people are using them, and you can really get an insight to which one calls your name. They have some bright colors too, which are so fun for the summer.
Apricot.
They do have an apricot.
Didn't Ashley buy that?
Yes, she did.
That's a fun.
They have like a really bright green, a really bright yellow.
Here's my thought on this. If your cookies are quiet, like pastels, they get the punchier backdrop. Like, let's say you did a pastel lime, then we want the bright lime back. We don't want a competition.
Yeah, you don't want to lose in. I like a solid color more than I like a grain on there, just because you can lose it in there.
The solid color, even a bright one, makes it more simple, so it's not so much of a competition.
So you can,
and a white
your
plate,
eyes can really tell the difference for them. But if you want to save 20%, you can use code SUGARCOOKIE, that's singular, at aecorebackers.com. You can go in there. I would sign up for her newsletter. She's running deals all the time. So she did like a 25% off for the marble ones last week. So that beats out the 20% that you can save. So if you sign up for that, you'll be good. You'll never miss nothing.
You know, I totally forgot to do that Bosch giveaway that we had talked about.
What?
Remember we were supposed to do a
Yeah,
Bosch
we were still
giveaway?
chatting about it.
I completely forgot about it.
Oh, they did come out with a new Bosch.
They did?
It's a newer one.
How much?
I don't know. I have
Not
to,
the Universal
it was like
Plus?
I think it's like a replacement of the Universal Plus.
Really?
Let me see if I can find that.
That makes me sad. But moving along, while she looks that up, Eddie, the edible food printer, is a printer that prints on food. I'm not sure if she printed on this chocolate. Do you think this is Eddie? Did she print on the chocolate?
I don't know.
I don't know. However, you could print on chocolate. Now I'm looking at this chocolate that I've half eaten here, but it's got printed on it. Heather's my favorite twin. Corey's my favorite twin. Eddie, the edible food printer, which I forgot to make Corey's thank you cookie from the last podcast, but I will.
Yeah.
Then you can do a little reel and post about it. You can learn a lot more about Eddie and their Facebook group, Eddie Printer Users Group. It's by a company called Primera. I've never met a company that's so attuned to helping people learn their product. I think we're lucky. It's not like you can join a Bosch group and complain about your Bosch and get help on it. You just kind of got to say, why doesn't the cookie dough paddle work? So I think everyone is sleeping on that level of community kind of service and management that Primera provides us, because you can also get a lot of inspo and a lot of things. Speaking of the burger class, a lot of people use Eddie to print on circle cookies the things that go into a burger, and it looks like an actual burger. And you can bring those or sell them for like 4th of July get-togethers and stuff like that.
DIY kits.
Not even a DIY kit because it's already done. You're just setting.
Oh, yeah, that's
sets.
true.
Yeah.
That would be so much easier than having to make all those colors.
I know, right? But real cute thing to have and display. And then what did you get? Those like hot dog carriers? What do you call those things where you put
I don't know what you would call them, but the little baskets, burger baskets.
With that gingham kind of
pattern.
pattern.
I found ones that were plastic at Michael's, like red and plastic.
That's
Looks
cute.
like you went to like the local diner.
That stuff is really cute. Talk about a packaging knockout. So tell us lastly about Royal Batch.
Lastly, but not leastly, is I have to go get some powdered sugar for the classes on Saturday. I'm almost out.
Thank you for that.
I have to make it. Lastly, but not leastly, is the meringue powder that I use. It is called Royal Batch, and it's from a company called Bakety Bake. This is just the bee's knees, like the upper echelon of meringue powders.
Upper echelon.
Upper echelon. I mean, I've made it so much recently. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just love it. Just all the orders. Yeah. That was 10 dozen. I'm so glad it's over. What it already has in it is vanilla extract, so you don't have to add that if you don't want to. It already has white food coloring, so when you mix it up, it is bright white, so it saves you on buying that from Americolor, which is
What if you don't put white in it? What if you have a meringue powder with no white? Is it yellow?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of yellow. And then when it dries, it gets yellower. Yeah.
Interesting.
Especially if you use vanilla extract that's not clear vanilla, it makes it brown.
That tint.
Okay. It's not so bad, but it'd be like, is that a little dirty?
Oh.
Yeah, overcooked. Okay. And then last, it has corn syrup in it to get it a softer bite. If you like a lot of soft bite, you can add your own corn syrup in addition to it. But it's just great. You can use code TWINS to save 10% off of that. I have posted the way that I make it to our Instagram and our TikTok. So if you're like, how does Corey make those amazing cookies?
The almighty Corey, please tell us.
You can check it out.
We're doing a Reels challenge in the Cookie College. They asked for it. I'm joking on
Will
my
you
helmet
stop
again.
eating?
Survived. Almost got me twice. I'm doing a Reels challenge in the Cookie College. They asked for it, not me. But every day you have to post one reel. So it's a consistency challenge and forcing your hand to create video. And boy, are people starting to see results.
I know.
We're only a week in. We're only a week in, but like, wow, you can start to see those little counters start pointing up.
If anything, like if you're like, I'm very uncomfortable making videos, forcing yourself to do it for 30 days, you're going to get good at it.
And, we have a check-in thread every morning at 9:30 to say, like, you can check in anytime in the next 24 hours. It's kind of an honor system thing. But the lady was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it because other people.
Oh my goodness. She's doing it because other people are doing it.
You're going to get mad at me because I'm choking.
No. Yeah, because you just told me not to eat it and you're eating.
You eat a whole one
I know,
in a bite.
they're so good. It's that sweet and salt.
No. I told Gams that we're going to go to this week.
What?
Lolly and Pop at the mall.
Yeah.
And get those caramel squares that someone giving Gams for like something. You know that Gams' birthday's coming up?
In June. Caramel squares?
Yeah, with the salt on top. You, me.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. But she likes Fannie Mae's.
Okay, well, I don't want a Fannie Mae. I want that.
I do like that salt in that caramel. They just, so good.
So look for those. I'll be getting them.
I cannot wait on my diet.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were pretending to do that.
Listen, I want everyone to know that I've only had Diet Cokes if I've gone out to eat, but at home, I've only drank water. My body's like, what do we do with this clear stuff?
We might put this in our organs.
Good thing we're right.
Let's see what happens when we put it in the liver.
I know.
That's good.
Do I feel a difference? No.
You're grumpy. You know how caffeine works?
I know. I'm really suffering without caffeine.
Do you know so your brain?
Yeah.
Some neurosurgeon's going to be like, that's not correct. Your brain.
I doubt a neurosurgeon is listening to breaking it down.
Let me see what the twins think. Your brain creates these receptors for the chemical that makes you fall asleep, adenosine.
Yes.
When that adenosine builds up enough in your brain, you conk out and fall asleep.
Okay.
Caffeine is the same size as those adenosine molecules. So the caffeine takes the place of the adenosine, meaning that you can't fall asleep because the caffeine's like, I'm here.
I know.
But your brain's like, no, we're going to fall asleep. So it makes more receptors.
Oh, so I have to drink more
and more coffee. So when you suddenly do a cold turkey stop on caffeine, all those receptors are looking for adenosine.
Oh my!
There's no caffeine. You're tired and faster than you'd ever.
I will say that I
little
had to
receptors
take
will die.
a caffeine pill.
Okay, well,
I was just getting so tired.
Kind of maybe not with caffeine at the cold turkey approach. Kind of the less and less and less.
So how about no Diet Coke, more water with a caffeine pill, maybe half the caffeine pill.
Yeah, slowly squirrel yourself away from the caffeine, and then those little extra receptors die off, and then you go back to base.
Yeah, because I was like, man, I can't make it through the day without really crashing it too. Like just yawning so much, my eyes are watering.
Yeah, it's because the adenosine now has many places, all the places.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So your brain your body is always trying to find base, and even if you try to circumvent it, we'll be like, we will find another way.
Now when I have a Diet Coke when we go out to eat, it tastes so much better.
Like a little
oasis.
Yeah. Some of the Oasis is Diet Coke.
My island's in a sea of Diet Coke.
When the fizz hits just right. You know what's the worst thing is like, okay, obviously my family drinks Diet Coke like it is a resource of water.
Yeah.
When you go to a restaurant and somebody accidentally pours maybe a regular Coke.
Oh.
And then all of the sisters look up at the same time like, you taste what I taste? Regular sugar?
Oh, we don't want to be those people.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. But this isn't diet. And the person's like, it is. And you're like, I know you think it is, but I'm a Diet Coke tasting expert.
That sounds like such a brat.
But you can't drink regular Coke if you wanted to die.
Someone actually gave me Archer's Dr. Pepper.
That's going to take you aback if you don't know what you're going to do. But you don't like Dr. Pep?
No.
It kind of burns behind the eyes.
No, I don't like it at all.
I want to feel the Diet Coke in my cornea.
I just like the fizzy going down.
I want to suffer while I sip.
Yeah, if my eyes aren't watering, Diet Coke ain't strong enough. It's not for McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's doesn't make it. It's syrupy.
McDonald's has great Diet Coke.
I don't really like the McDonald's Coke. I know that there's people who like fountain soda.
Then you like a canned Coke only.
I prefer canned Coke.
That is as tasteless as you can get.
I prefer Olive Garden, whatever they're doing back there. That stuff is great.
You know what's good, and you probably don't go? Jimmy John's.
I don't, but I'm about
Jimmy
those kinds of places. When you find a gem.
They have the great ice.
Okay. Okay. I mean, the ice really does do its doing. Mm-hmm. You know what we're talking about? The little, like, mini...
little circle-y thing.
Chicken nugget.
Yeah.
Ones. Also, like a potato. What do you call it when you go hash brown squares?
That's what it is.
That's the ice shape.
That's what it was.
You're going to go a little deep dive
You got
into...
a Twinterest?
Twinterest? Let me think real quick.
Does she have a Twinterest?
Twinterest. I don't think I really... I have not had a car in 2 weeks.
So she has not gone anywhere?
I have gone stir crazy.
Heather did do... She did photos at a family wedding this past weekend.
You might be thinking, oh, Heather, I didn't know you do photography. I don't. Then did you say yes to a wedding? I did not, actually. I said no 3 times. And the 4th time, I felt as weird as possible. So I said yes. So we went to a wedding in Southern Virginia of my cousin. And I took the photos. And my policy was take as many as possible. You can always delete.
You can't always return.
You're right.
So Heather was just snapping away. People treated Heather like she was a wedding planner. They were like, what do you want us to do next?
I think we should hand them out to the bridal party now. I'll have you guys kiss there at the end. I want you to turn towards me on the count of 3.
Then I hear like someone was doing a closing speech and Heather said, you haven't cut the cake, Chief.
We got some move. I'm losing daylight.
You did good. You did good. You did good.
Here's my thought. Probably took maybe 1,000.
You did way too many.
But if I can come with 30 photos, 30
out of 1,000?
You don't need 1,000. Nobody needs to know what a cupcake looks like. You just needed to set the
cupcakes
mood
were on
up.
point, though.
I wish I got them. Deed said. You'll never guess.
Where? Walmart. No, that does not taste like the normal.
That's what she said.
Did she special order the color or something?
I don't know.
Because they were...
We have to ask. They were purple.
The one I had was green.
Oh, I don't know. You have to
I
ask
don't know.
her. She said that she had 48
good.
of them left.
Yeah,
And
don't be dogging on Walmart cupcakes. That was delicious. And I don't know if I was famished or burnt.
I got 2 bug bites.
I got a bazillion bug bites.
Really?
Yeah.
You were wearing a dress and I was wearing pants because I was allowed to dress properly.
Front seat.
Do you have Twinterest?
Do I have a Twinterest? Has anything happened to me?
I don't know. Has it? Court adopter sent off for Ohio for the summer. They need a break from each other, personally, I believe.
No, I love them.
No, you two need a break from each other. The absence makes the heart grow fonder with you two. The last day he was here, you said he's just talking so much.
Still just talking so much. Yeah. Kids are talking. That's it.
Oh, nothing?
I don't think was I very interesting this week?
No. Not particularly.
I mean, I'm in the market for a new phone case.
It's fine.
iOS 17 is coming out. You can
17? We're already at 17.
You're not.
No. I'm on Android too. Android potato.
Yeah, but supposedly when someone leaves a voicemail, you can see what they're saying as they leave it. Oh, transcribe
Another thing I don't want to check. Listen, man. Listen, guys. We're no longer leaving voicemails in 2023. We're leaving voicemails in 2022.
Amen.
2023, you can send a text. My voicemail says, please text me.
My voicemail says, please text me. Someone called and said, I know your voicemail said, please text you.
Immediately.
So I'm going to text you after this call. Why are you telling me that?
To me, the greatest sign of respect to somebody is hanging up right before their voicemail kicks in so they don't even have to get the notification that there was potentially a voicemail.
Especially if it's like 4 seconds of silence where they just...
And then they're like, I should hang this up and probably send a text.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Do I have a Twinterest?
Let me think of what you've been doing. Have you been buying products that you like?
Buying products?
Like, I don't know.
Like something to test?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Have you already talked about the weird Hobby Lobby stuff that you've been talking about?
I did, and I posted about it. I know.
Why do people always ask on your TikToks where to get the sweetest tear stencil? Couldn't you just Google that?
She's not good at marketing. I don't know.
Why are they always asking, where do I buy this? It's sweetest tear stencil.
Yeah,
just go buy
but
it there.
I think she is from Canada. Oh. So you would have to. But I just got mine on Etsy. At Yoles Yummy Supplies.
Oh, I saw somebody mention that. So is that shipped through U.S. or
she's Canada like a wholesaler, so she has it on in stock. You just pay a couple bucks extra. I always do. Sometimes people don't even try to read the other comments, and I even included where I got it in the caption of that one. And they're not reading.
Engagement, baby.
They're not. Yeah, I should say.
What should we do next week's podcast? Huh?
Next week's podcast?
Yeah,
my pants splitting.
Oh yeah, how embarrassing!
How embarrassing!
See you guys next week.